Hello, my name is Caroline Adcock, and I'm a meteorologist at the National Weather Service office in Nashville, Tennessee. Today, let's talk about the reason for the seasons. Each year, we experience 4 different seasons: autumn, winter, spring, and summer. We have different seasons because our Earth is tilted on its axis. This axis is an imaginary pole going through the center of the Earth from top to bottom. The Earth rotates on this axis, which is why we have day and night. Instead of this axis being oriented straight up and down, the Earth is tilted at an angle of about 23.5 degrees. Because of this tilt, different parts of the Earth are angled towards or away from the sun at different times of the year. Additionally, our Earth has 2 hemispheres, the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. This is another imaginary line dividing Earth in half in the middle, which we call the equator. These hemispheres experience opposite seasons. So when we're experiencing summer in the northern hemisphere, it's actually winter in the southern hemisphere. For half the year, from mid-March to mid-September, the northern hemisphere is tilted towards the sun. For the other half of the year, the northern hemisphere is tilted away from the sun. We have 2 equinoxes, one in March and the other in September. During an equinox, the sun is directly overhead at the equator, and both hemispheres receive equal amounts of day and night. The March equinox marks the beginning of the spring in the northern hemisphere, and our daylight hours begin to increase. In spring, the weather typically turns warmer, trees begin to grow their leaves, and flowers start to bloom. The September equinox marks the beginning of autumn in the northern hemisphere, and our daylight hours begin to decrease. In autumn, the leaves start to change color and fall off trees. We also have 2 solstices each year, the summer solstice and the winter solstice. During a solstice, one half of the planet is more directly exposed to the sun than the other. The summer solstice, which happens in mid-June, marks the beginning of summer in the northern hemisphere. It's this half of the planet that is tilted directly towards the sun. In summer, the weather is usually very warm and trees have full green leaves. The opposite is true during the winter solstice, which happens in December. The northern hemisphere is now tilted away from the sun, and this marks the beginning of winter. In the winter, the weather typically turns colder. It sometimes snows, and trees have no leaves. We hope you enjoyed this educational video on our seasons. Thank you for joining us.